For many years now, Russ and Craig have had many wide-ranging conversations with folks from all over the gaming world. This is one of those conversations.
D6G, the Lost Chapter.
Hey, so I don't know what you're doing, but I've suddenly discovered a taste for these munchkins.
Really? Because
yeah, I got a cup full of munchkins. Look at that.
yeah, see,
A cup full of
munchkins. We're off to see the wizard.
Oh my gosh!
We represent.
Oh, that's hilarious.
We represent the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild.
Yeah, I like the munchkin.
Not that kind of munchkin.
Well, I don't know.
Okay, little guy. Okay, little guy. Wait. Just shut up and wait a minute, okay? This guy needs to go to the bathroom. Lift him up. Okay, buddy.
What is going on here?
Just come back, though. Come back. Okay.
I think
Never mind.
politically incorrect short humor is happening
That's
now that I'm not familiar with.
That's hilarious.
Going off to the bathroom.
Rafe, you got to talk amongst yourselves. So, Rafe, good to see you back here in Dunkin Donuts. Always nice to have you. I'm just enjoying a coffee here from freshly ground beans at your house.
So I'm using their darker roast now that I grind my own beans.
Yeah, it's important.
Why? Is their darker roast less objectionable to your now snobby bean tastes?
Well, it's kind of like that whole wine thing, like you get like. First of all, I love Dunkin'. I still love Dunkin' Donuts iced coffee. That's nothing beats a Dunk's ice. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. My palate's changed or something. So now when I drink a regular hot coffee, it just doesn't have any flavor. Can't explain it.
All right.
I don't know.
See, I like a lot of cream in my coffee anyway, so I pretty much kill the flavor at this point. It's a cream delivery system. Let's be honest.
I like just a little bit to give it color and just a little bit of sugar.
Well, since Rafe's here, we haven't talked to you a while, Rafe, about video games. And I love getting a chance, any chance I can, to talk about video games. But here's the crazy thing. Craig, Rafe, has been playing video games now.
I know.
Dabbling with your son, right? Is the excuse.
Oh, you know what we did? I'll tell you what we did.
What'd you do?
We did over the weekend. So I got Rocket Raccoon, of course.
Yeah, for Guardians of the
Disney
Galaxy.
Infinity in my stocking for Christmas. Only to find out that to play the Avengers, you actually have to earn Rocket Raccoon.
Yes, you do.
By going around New York City and finding 10 coins that have his face on them. Mm-hmm. And we tried it a couple times and we kept missing. So we had a big family event Saturday morning where or was it Sunday morning? It had to be Sunday morning because it was Sunday morning because Reese got Thor for Easter. And
is that all he got, Craig?
Yes, that's all he got in a cardboard box with grass I actually pulled up from the lawn.
There you go.
And you know what? He's happy for it.
I just remember last time you were like, no, but Karen, he needs the Flash and Captain America and.
I never would have gotten them the Flash. And so,
What's wrong with the Flash?
I'm not a DC guy, man.
Well, it doesn't matter. Disney doesn't own DC. Flash will never be in Infinity.
Flash would never be there anyway, but no matter what the game is,
Flash.
I'm not going to be getting a Flash. Mm-hmm. Anyway, and so, so it was the three of us on the couch. And Reese, because he's got Thor now, Io was always playing Iron Man, and he was playing Captain America, which he loves, but of course Captain America doesn't fly.
Right.
So whenever we got stuck somewhere and we needed to fly away, I would always have to pick him up and fly wherever we were going. Mm-hmm. And now he's got Thor, who obviously, of course, can fly. Mm-hmm. So we're flying all over the city, and Karen was on her phone looking at a YouTube video to try to find all the coins for us. And we found all the coins, and it was funny because we finally found the last coin, and as we found the last coin, the ice giants are attacking us again. And I'm Rocket Raccoon all of a sudden, so I'm shooting up a storm, and then I switched myself back to Iron Man. Because I wanted to fly.
That is the problem. Getting around the city, not being able to fly feels very
annoying.
Slow. Yeah, it's annoying.
Yeah. It's annoying.
And the vehicles are too hard to control, so I'd rather fly also. I'm with you.
Yeah, the vehicles are tough. and so we succeeded in our mission, and I believe we're on a helicarrier, except that we're in a chamber. The only way to leave the chamber is through this teleportation device, and we in the real world haven't yet been able to figure out how to aim the teleportation device, because it's like control the teleportation device, but we can't read the icon that it's telling us to use on the controller, and none of the controls seem to affect where the little beam moves around on the big map of New York City. So we're kind of trapped. We can zap in and out of one teleportation portal, like to and from what I believe. Like I said, I don't even know if it's a helicarrier, but the giant windows seem to be filled with clouds that are moving. So I'm assuming it's a helicarrier.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I don't think that was our latest gaming experience.
I'll have to check that out. I like the Guardians of the Galaxy level particularly. I thought that was pretty good.
Now, see, I haven't done that.
Yeah, you got to get the Guardians of the Galaxy little thingy to put on the base to play
I
the
need
Guardians
the thingy
of the
for
Galaxy.
the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Make sure you get Groot. Groot is awesome. So
Of course, you are Groot.
Save your pennies for Groot. Yeah, he's worth it. Yeah, cool. Well, yeah, Infinity's a lot of fun. My girls play the heck out of that too. They really like it also. So we have
and Reese is bouncing back and forth between that and Minecraft.
Oh, Minecraft, yes. So has he tried Minecraft story mode yet?
Oh yes, he loves it.
So my girls fell in love with story mode.
What's story mode?
So story mode actually turns Minecraft into essentially not Minecraft. So it's a
video game with Minecraft graphics.
It's Minecraft graphics, Minecraft characters, but you're playing I guess sort of third-person story, sort of mini RPG, but it's mostly just storytelling, and you click things to pick them up and do stuff, but you're mostly just watching a story, essentially.
Oh, that's neat.
But the girls
it's like a little kid's version of an RPG.
Yeah, it's a light
Are these
RPG.
fan-made or something?
No, it's produced by Microsoft.
Patton Oswalt plays the main character.
Yeah, that's kind
Who's
of fun.
that?
He's an actor and a comedian. He's obnoxious, but he's famous.
He's obnoxious, but he's famous.
Don't want to be judgmental.
Kind of like a Kardashian, really. Okay, so
well, he's better than a Kardashian.
well, that's not saying much.
No, it's not.
List of computer games is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. To my 3 and Craig's none.
Craig's got one. He's got Infinity.
I got one.
And he's got
it.
Minecraft.
Minecraft.
No.
Yeah.
My one would be Disney Infinity.
Disney Infinity. There you
The
go.
Marvel Disney Infinity.
All right, I have some, but you want me to go first, Craig? Rafe, or you want?
Yes, go first, but give it, spread it out. I mean,
All right.
go quick or spread it out or whatever.
So the couple. Let me give you a couple of. I'll do them in blocks. Let me first do
blocks.
strategy
Do 'em
games.
in blocks.
So let me do the strategy games I'm currently playing. Of
Craig, can I have a
these,
munchkin?
There are 2.
Thanks.
So I'm liking.
Don't hurt the little guy. Just put him on your lap.
Jeez.
Come here, buddy. Which way is the wicked? What is it? Wicked west?
Wow.
Which of the west? What is it? North? I forget.
East and West.
East and west. That's right.
Anyway, so anywho,
Do you think one of the Munchkins really did hang themselves? Do you think that's true? That
I
little
do
myth?
not think that's true.
I don't know.
I don't know, Craig.
I don't know either.
Grafe is referring to the urban legend that if you watch the part where they're singing "Lions and Tigers and Bears, Oh My," if you look carefully into the wood lines in that scene, the trees in that scene, you're supposedly able to catch the briefest glimpse of a small figure hanging from a noose, and supposedly it is an actual one of the actors who played a Munchkin hung himself on set, and they were not able to somehow remove it from the digitally remastered version for some inexplicable reason and hide him from the. So if you believe all that, there you have it.
I think all of us go through that phase in college where we check out all of those videos,
Right.
and I don't believe I ever found one. Okay, here we are, Rafe. We are going to use the Lost Chapter as a teachable moment.
Oh God.
Okay.
Snopes.com.
Oh, here we go.
Hanging Munchkin.
Here it is.
The claim a lovelorn actor portraying one of the Munchkins hanged himself on the set during the filming of The Wizard of Oz. False.
There you go. And if it's not on Snopes, it's not.
That's right.
not
The so-called
real.
Munchkin suicide scene occurs at the very end of the Tin Woodsman sequence as Dorothy the Scarecrow, blah, 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 blah. The unusual movement in the background of the scene described above was noticed years ago, and it was often attributed to a stagehand's accidentally being caught on the set after the blah, blah, blah. Anyway, no.
So it was a stagehand running around back there?
That's what they think.
Okay.
There you have it.
There you have it. All right. Sorry,
No
Russ, go ahead.
Munchkins died in the making of the film.
That's right.
Unlike the 3 you've already eaten. All right. So anyway, back to video games. So the two strategy games I'm playing right now, roughly with equal abandon, are Age of Wonder 3, which is a global conquest strategy game. So explore, expand, exploit game. And what's neat about this one is, Rafe, it's sort of like a cross between Civilization. So you're familiar with Civ?
Yes.
Okay. So imagine Civ, but then when you fight, okay, it's in a fantasy world. So there's, orcs and goblins and trolls and fairies and unicorns and dragons and undead. Imagine all those races. Imagine each of those races has access to their own units and their own armies. Imagine each of these armies are led by heroes, and the heroes each have a class. And the class you choose dictates what your race can be. So if you pick a warrior class, then all your elves become really good warrior elves. If you pick like a sorcerer class, then you have stronger mage class units. And so if you're a halfling leader with sorcery, you have these little short halfling sorcerers, which is kind of funny.
That's neat.
But then what happens is so imagine you've got cities, they're growing, you're managing your population, your happiness, you're building armies, you're sending the armies out. But when the armies fight, the battle zooms in into a battle mode where you actually see the battle lines form with each unit, and it looks just like Warhammer Fantasy Battle. So all the units are there, you got your spearmen there, you got your archers, maybe you have some siege equipment, maybe you built some cannons, whatever, dragons. If you're fighting against a city with a wall, the wall's in your way, it's right up front. Maybe you've got some research that allows you guys to climb the walls or dig under the walls. Maybe you brought some cannons that are going to blast through the walls, and you're each moving your units around independently and fighting. Your creatures are flying over the walls and attacking. It's all turn-based. It's all fantastic. It's got a play-by-email mode, so what that does is I can take a turn and then send it into the server, and then you can take your turn whenever you get around to it and send it in, or we can play live real-time, either in hot seat or with multiple PCs. And so my girls and I play in real time. So we'll spend a Saturday afternoon just sitting down with all three computers at a desk and just playing through it. And it's a lot of fun. It's a really good, it's like a really, really in-depth strategy board game. And then when you fight, it's like playing Warhammer Fantasy Battle. So it's really, really good. Reasonably affordable because it's been out for over 2 years now. And it looks fantastic, but is not PC heavy. So it'll pretty much run on any decent, mid-range.
Did you get it on Steam?
Yes. Steam, Age of Wonders 3. If you like strategic games as a board gamer or a computer gamer, you will really like this game. And if you miss Warhammer Fantasy Battles, you will like this game, as well. Highly recommend.
Okay, cool.
The other strategy game I'm really into is XCOM 2.
XCOM, yes.
Which is really a game that needs no introduction. The second version is neat because in the reboot they did a couple years ago, it was the same as the original. So aliens are invading. You've got this base centered somewhere in the world. You're operating out of this base. You're sending out interceptors to shoot down UFOs, and you're deploying your squad of expert, military tacticians to take on tactically in squad-based combat, very much like a miniature skirmish game against aliens. Your guys level up; they get more powerful. The aliens have more different units and more scary units. In XCOM 2, the aliens have taken over the world, and the entire world is now run by aliens. Don't worry, they're your peaceful overlords. However, as everybody knows, they're not really your peaceful overlords. They're actually doing things like, eating people and whatnot. So now XCOM is an underground resistance, but instead of being based underground, literally, we have captured an old UFO, retrofitted it, and now we are essentially in a flying fortress base that orbits the world and comes in and lands and tries to build up a resistance network and fights the aliens from within. Really, really cool concept. The aliens have all evolved from the first editions.
Nodding.
They're all new.
I'm nodding as you're talking.
It's most excellent.
I'm nodding out.
Off. Right. So those are the two games.
Craig,
so if you like, so they're both
read a
appealing
couple
to me.
chapters, Craig. We'll get back to you.
They're both appealing to me because of my miniature gaming. One's got Warhammer Fantasy feel, and one's got that sci-fi sort of infinity feel.
I don't like strategy games per normal, but I played XCOM and loved it.
Mm-hmm.
The new one?
No, the old one.
The old new one or the new old one?
The one that's maybe 2 years old?
Yes. So that's the new one's just like that, except what they've done to make it harder, and some people complain, is now, so in the original, in the one you played, Rafe, there was no really time limit permission. So you had as many turns as you want to solve it. And because the game had Overwatch, you could kind of get cheesy and just sort of sit back and wait for the aliens to come to you. In the new one, it feels like they took the miniature game and added more miniature game ideas. So now there are turn limits. Like, you've got 6 turns to hack the terminal before the aliens shut down the network and you lose. Or you've got to rescue this guy before he's shot. You got 8 turns to do it. So imagine a miniature game now with 8 turns. With a turn limit, you immediately are like, well, I can't just sit around. I got to take risks. I got to get my guys out there no matter what I find because I've only got 4 turns left to get the
timed that way, or there's a clock tick tick tick.
Timed
tick.
based on turns.
Okay,
so it's not,
that
it's
wouldn't
not,
bother me.
It's still turn based, but instead of having as many turns as you need, you only got you got 6 activations total before you're going to be done. So what's funny is the video gaming community is sort of like, it's too hard, but I think miniature gamers are like, yeah, we got this. This is how we roll. So it feels very much more like really cool miniature gaming scenarios. So I'm really liking it even more as a miniature gamer. So again, if you're a miniature gamer, I think you'd really enjoy either of these games. Army Scale Fantasy, Go Age of Wonder, high-tech sci-fi skirmish with 4 to 6 guys in your squad. XCOM is the way to go.
I loved that part. Tell everybody about how you name them. Not you, but you can name them and you get kind of attached to them.
So all of your characters, what happens is when you recruit a new character into the game, and this is true in XCOM 1 and now in the second one, they come in and they come looking a certain way, and maybe they're male or female, they're from a certain country, they have an accent or whatever. When you first recruit them, you don't know their specialty, so they're just generic dude. As soon as they survive their first mission, they rank up, and they get a specialty. So you discover this one guy's a good sniper, or maybe he's a heavy, or maybe he's a what they call a ranger now who's got a sword, or scout. Cool. So you immediately pick their role. As soon as they get to their role, you can actually anytime you can edit the character, change their look, change their gender, change their face, change their hair, and you can name them. And when they get to their second or third rank advancement, because they all level up and you pick skills and stuff, they get a nickname, but you can then change the nickname. So what I've done is, and I did this in the first XCOM, and I'm doing it in the second one, I'm naming everybody after people on the D6 generation or associated with the show. So there's Rafe Granger, who you are a sniper. You're a heavy, Rafe.
Sniper.
You're a heavy right now with acidic ammo in your gun. And you are, as soon as you got your nickname, of course, I switched it to Hollywood. Craig is actually a sniper. He is Craig Gallant, but as soon as he got his nickname, it went to McNerdigan. Nicole's in there with nickname Total Fangirl. Owen is in there with the nickname The Welshman, so it's that kind of thing. So I'm having lots of fun. But the thing about the game that's really hard is you get very attached to your characters. And you're saying like, oh, man, and Karen's in there and Susan's all my friends' wives are in there and everything because you need 1 million people. Because what happens is you only have a squad of 5 on the ground at a time or so, but when they get wounded, they're down for days.
They have to heal.
So they got to heal, and it's realistic. Like if you got shot in the shoulder, you're not going back into the field the next day. It's going to take you a week or two to feel better. So while they're out, you've got to have a backup plan. So you need to have multiple. So you need to have a rotation of about 10 to 15 people. So you start to extend your group, and you don't want it to be all male. So I tweeted a picture of the squad, and Miles English, who follows me on Twitter, is like, "Hey, where's the token black dude?" So right after that, I named Miles, got in there, and Miles. I don't know if you've been following Miles on Facebook. He got an eye injury and had a patch. So Miles is in there. I put his patch on, and his nickname is One Eye, which I thought was pretty funny. Although Miles fully healed now, so he no longer has his patch. But I thought it was pretty funny. Miles enjoyed it. I sent him a picture. It's just fun to do that. The problem is when they die. So the problem is in the middle of the mission, when they die, you're so close to achieving your objective, and the mission was so hard, you're like, yeah, I'm going to let this person, because you could restore a save, but then you got to redo it all again.
You can either go back, but then you don't complete the mission.
But sometimes the missions are so hard, and with the timers and everything else, and with the timer now, it's really hard, because you got to get in, get it done, and then evacuate out. And sometimes you evacuate and leave somebody behind. And they don't count as dead, they count as MIA. I'm afraid the game's going to pull some little trick, like later I'm going to meet them again, and they're going to be all infested like Borg alien dudes or something. So I'm ready to run into like, I haven't left you behind, Rafe, but I'm afraid if I do, you'll be turning into a Borg or something.
Don't leave me behind.
So right now, so when people die, like Owen died, so he's out. But then I made a new Owen one, and I called him Owen Jr. So they have like a little succession. So it's like his son has picked up his gun and is going in to save the day for Wales.
Yeah, I named my original crew was you, Craig, Dave, Andy, Matt, Stino, everybody in our gaming group. And then I remember Dave had to die, and I was like, sorry, dude, you're dead, and he's like, what? So it's just funny.
And I try to make them look kind of like the people as much as I can. So you can get it. You can't get it close, but you can get it roughed out, and
somehow that makes the game. Just naming those characters really makes it so much more. I know a lot of people do it. Like you see it on Facebook and Twitter. People are always sharing shots of their squad and named after all their friends, and it's pretty cool. It adds an element to the game that's a lot of fun. So yeah, it does,
and it makes it closer. So I'm really enjoying XCOM. What about you, Rafe? What are you playing?
All right, I have 3 games, but I'm going to talk about one, and then we'll toss back to you because I'm going to talk at length about one. Okay, my 3 games are Tom Clancy's The Division.
Heard a lot of good things about that.
Yep. Black Desert Online, what they're calling a sandbox MMO, and Jurassic World Lego.
Okay.
I'll do Jurassic World Lego. Super easy to talk about. I recommend it. I liked it because I just got a little tired of all the Star Wars themed and the superhero themed. So Emmy and I downloaded that, and it's fun. You get 4 games in one. So you actually get Jurassic Park, Jurassic 1, Jurassic 2, whatever they are, plus Jurassic World. So it's pretty fun. Okay, Black Desert Online. So Ryan, who's in my D&D group, says, hey, Rafe, there's this new MMO, and it's called Black Desert Online. I'm like, nah, I think I'm done with MMOs. I kept logging into Latro, and I really wanted to, Lord of the Rings Online, I really wanted to go back and capture my heyday when I would come home, I'd sit at my computer, I'd hang out with my kin friends online, I would do dungeons, I'd level up my character, and I just haven't been able to capture that in so long. And I've tried. There's, Guild Wars 2 is out, which is a nice game, and WoW still puts patches out, and Latro's still going on. They just changed the game to what I used to like. So I was hesitant because I also knew Tom Clancy's The Division was coming out. So I actually played that first, but I'll save that for later. So I finally downloaded it, and oh my gosh, Russ and Craig, I'm having a blast playing this MMO. It could be, I want to warn everybody out there, it could be because it's scratching that itch, as we like to say, but everybody claims after WoW, this is the newest MPG, whether MMORPG, whether it's Rift or Rifts or whatever it is, Dark Age Camelot, doesn't matter. And you play it and you're like, no, it's the same thing as WoW, and this is what everybody means. Run up to a guy with a question mark over his head, click it. He says, go out in the world, kill 10 wolves, come back, give him 10 wolf pelts, and he'll give you some gold and blah, blah, blah. So somehow Black Desert Online has sort of morphed all the great things about MMOs and other types of games and dumped all the bad things. And it's creating, I'm literally playing it going, uh-oh, this is a new experience. One thing that I like, Russ, is that the actions of your hero in the game are not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They are, you move with WASD. Mm-hmm. Believe it or not, that's really rare in an MMO. I shouldn't say rare, but it's rarer in an MMO. Usually you move in an MMO with your mouse. So it works like an action game. And then I'm playing a wizard, and actually a witch. You cast spells, for example, by clicking shift, left mouse button, and it's a fireball. Okay. And what I love is when you're learning the game, it shows you a little video tutorial. So you don't have to look at a key map or anything. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I can go shift right click and cast chain lightning. And if you do them in the right kind of combos, you do even more damage. So at first I was very against it because I'm like, I'm not good in these combos. I'm not going to know what to do. Let me just press 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and let them time out. But I'm actually finding that it's more engaging for me to be moving because you're still moving with your WASD and then shifting and doing your different things for your spells. And I'm kind of creating my own favorite combos, if you would. And so that's really a blast. The other thing that I think's really cool about it is the crafting in the world is like mega huge. They actually, you don't get rewarded in this game to just race up to level 50. Mm-hmm. There's no reward in that. Okay, so this is what would happen. Okay, you're level 50. It's like, now what? They actually encourage you to take your time, do the quests that you like, move on to the quests you don't, move on to a new zone if you want to. All right, when you're level 40, you can go back to this other zone and do some of the other story quests that you didn't do. So you're not level locked anymore like a lot of other games are, where you go back to a zone and you're sort of bored. Cool. Like I said, the crafting's really deep. They have a very intricate economy. They have an intricate trade system. You manage workers like you did. Did you play Star Wars at all, Russ?
Yes. Knights of the Old Republic I played, yeah.
Knights. No, the other one. Yeah, the MMO one, not the...
Well, Knights of the Old Republic was an MMO. Yeah, Old Republic, yep. KOTOR.
Yeah. Okay, so you know how you could manage the workers and they worked off?
Right, yep.
They have this. They have that. So you're managing these workers, but it's not too complicated or too annoying, and that's a lot of fun. So... yeah, so it's a different experience. The graphics are good. It's a Korean-based game. It's been successful in Korea for a long time, and it just launched in the United States last month. So I think about a month ago. So it's brand new here. It's getting a lot of high reviews from MMO players, and been playing it with Ryan and just having a fun time. I'll end with, I'm in the game. I'm running around doing something, and I see this person run by me with a horse-drawn cart, and I'm like, never seen that before. And sure enough, and it's moving in such a way that I go, I think that's a player character. So I did a little delving into it, and sure enough, part of the trading economy minigame, if you would, is you can get a cart, and then you can look at the markets and trade goods between one city and the next.
Oh, wow. So it's a whole... So it sounds a little bit like it's... what's the sci-fi game that's been around forever that you tried?
The Sid Meier's one?
No.
Eve.
Eve Online, yeah. It sounds a little bit like Eve Online, but, with a super high-tech economy. It sounds like it's got a really in-depth economic structure for a fantasy game.
I would say yes, but sometimes Eve gets criticized where they call it like spreadsheets in space.
Right.
It doesn't have the spreadsheet field. So it's yes in that it's more complicated than run to the quest giver, get 10 potions, sell them for 10 silver, but nothing like spreadsheets in space. I didn't have to run spreadsheets. So they dumbed it down for somebody like me to go, oh, I get it. I can click this, spend this resource, see what the market's doing in this city. Yeah, I'll take the 10 reagent powder. What the heck? I'll run them over there. And it has that. I love games that when you spend time in it, you get like a special reward. So I'm trading, what they do is they put this backpack on your character, and then your character moves like super slowly, like it's carrying a heavy burden. And so I'm like, wow, this is not going to be too fun for too long. But then, sure enough, 3 quests in, I get my first horse-drawn cart, which can move 6 items. And so I can move the economy better. Then, to make it even more fun, that cart, of course, is total crap. Moves slow, isn't protected from bandits, doesn't have a lot of storage space. I can craft a cart, which is probably 16 different things. Learn how to plane the wood, learn how to put the wheels on, have your workers harvest the things you need, blah, blah, blah. Or you can buy the cart with like in-game money. Or actually, I think you might even be able to. That's the other thing. This game is on the model that the base game's $30, which is pretty reasonable. Once you own it, you own it. From there, it generates its money from cosmetic wear and other in-game items. Like if you die, you don't res where you are. You res back at town. You can go on the store, buy a res where you are token for $2 or something like that. So it generates its money that way. So yeah. So I'm like,
interesting.
For me, I'm like, wait a minute, I can create a little merchant, empire, if you would. For some reason, I just think that's a blast. So that's what I've been doing. Andy was laughing at me when I was telling him. He goes, sounds like baking pies. I'm like, yeah, pretty much.
It does sound like baking pies. So I can see why it appeals to you. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, so it's baking pies with combat thrown in there.
All right, cool.
So yeah, anybody who likes MMOs, was sick of MMOs, wants to try a new MMO, I highly recommend it. 5 stars. Go download it. One more caveat. The game is pretty intricate to learn. I didn't know. It wasn't too. The tutorials are really good.
It is spreadsheets in space.
No, not that part. Just the interface. I was like, wait a minute, I'm a little bit confused. Like the trade market that I was just talking to you about, Russ, is different than the marketplace. That's a whole different thing. And I was really confused about that. So I have Ryan. I call him up and I'm like, I don't understand. Can I sell these things that I'm getting in my trade goods on the marketplace? He goes, no, they're 2 separate things. I'm like, oh, I get it. So either have a friend who knows what they're doing, or you are going to need to spend some time on some YouTube videos to probably be like, I don't get this. And then you'll watch the video for 10 minutes and you'll be like, oh, I get it. And then it becomes easy to do.
All right. Cool.
That's my story.
Sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, it's neat.
All right. Well, I got two small ones that I'm playing, so I gave you the 2 strategy ones. Now I got the 2 light fun games. Okay. So, Rafe, are you familiar with Rocket League?
I think so. Is that car one where you race around?
So Rocket League has one of the dumbest, sort of premises ever. Although I'm not sure it's quite as dull sounding as building a mule cart driven economy. But
man, so fun.
But so the premise of Rocket League is soccer with cars. Is essentially what this is, which sounds pretty weird. But the implementation is so much fun. So the game size is typically usually 2 to 3 cars per side. You're in this giant indoor arena with a soccer goal on either end and a giant soccer ball that's probably about 2 to 3 times larger than your car. And your car has a few neat things, though. So your car, there's no weapons in your car, but your car drives pretty much like a normal controller car. You can boost your car, thus the rocket, to go pretty fast, but you got to recharge your booster by running over these little charging pads that are sprinkled throughout the arena. Then also you can jump. And when you jump, you can then do some maneuvers in the air, very simple rolls left, rolls right, flips, things like that when you're jumping. You can also slide, sort of like a drift, and you can brake. And that's pretty much it. And the goal is you race towards the soccer ball, slam into the soccer ball, get the soccer ball to start rolling in the direction you want. Then maybe your teammate slams the soccer ball the other direction. Hopefully none of the bad guys bounce into the soccer ball and slow it down. And you slam it into the goal. I know, it sounds really weird, but it is so much fun. It's really the polish on the game. What's cool about it is there's about 30 to 50 different car chassis types.
Oh, neat.
And you unlock all these, as you play the game, after every single match, you unlock some little thing. A new paint job, a new wheel, a new wheel rim, a new kind of booster that changes your jet when you rocket shoots from blue to a bunch of money shooting out, or who knows what. You have new antenna toppers. You have hats you can wear for your car, like these little roof toppers. You can change the art, the color. It's a bunch of little stuff that you unlock, and you can customize the cars, and it just makes the game compelling. Ooh, I got a new thing. Let me play it one more time. And what's really nice about it as a family game is it's available on PC, PS4, and Xbox. And what's really nice about it is you can play split-screen multiplayer on your Xbox. So you can fire up your Xbox. My daughters and I can fire up 2 or 3 people on the screen at once. It splits the screen up really easily to watch, and then we can go out and play online. So the 3 of us are playing on the same Xbox and the same screen against other people online. It's fast, it's fun, and it's just a blast. And you don't really need to coordinate much. They also have a couple of variants. They have a hockey variant, which the arena gets icy and the ball changes to a giant puck. And they're coming out with a basketball variant this spring, I think, which looks crazy too. But so it's a weird game. It doesn't make sense. It's just a lot of silly, wacky fun, and I'm really enjoying it. Some people take it very, very seriously. We don't, but we have a lot of fun with it. And
I checked it out. It didn't grab me.
Yeah, it's you have to play it a little bit. It's a little weird, but we enjoy it. The second game we're really liking is this game called Night Squad, and it's on Xbox Arcade. I want to say it's like $15, $12, something like that, pretty cheap. And in Night Squad, it's one of these games where a little known fact about the PS4 and the Xbox One, they've extended the number of controllers that can be linked to your Xbox from 4 to 6. Might even be 8. I can't remember. Anyway, there are a few games that take advantage of this, and one of them is Night Squad. So Night Squad, what it is each player chooses a knight to play, like a medieval knight. And then the screen opens as some sort of like Gauntlet-style maze. So you remember Gauntlet, the video game, where you'd
the thief needs food.
Yeah, right. So be 4 characters on the screen at once. So imagine 6 knights that you guys are controlling on the screen at once. But you're not in a dungeon crawl, no. Instead, there are things you're trying to do when you're competing against each other. And you've all got weapons. So you're running around with swords. Maybe the simplest game is just deathmatch, trying to kill each other as many times as you can. When you kill a knight, he respawns back at his spawn point. He comes back to fight some more. But then they've got all these crazy variants. Like one of them is Soul Stealer. So when I kill a knight, I get your soul. It floats around my knight and you can see it. And if I can get back to my base, I capture your soul for a point. But if you can kill me when I'm running around with a couple of souls, I die plus the 2 souls I'm carrying go on you, and you can try to carry them back to your base. You got some classics like Capture the Flag. You've got all these different weapons you can grab. So you can upgrade your sword to a bigger sword. You can grab a crossbow. You can grab like the Krull throwing star boomerang thing that bounces around the arena. You can get a minigun. There's even one variant called which is the minigun in the middle of the map, and you all race to get the minigun. Whoever's get the minigun, every second they score a point, and you're all trying to take him out, but this guy's got a freaking minigun. So things like that. It's just a lot of fun. It's really wacky, silly time. It's like one of those little mini party games, right? So you get everybody in the room. If all the kids are there, and plus my brother and I are in the room, all 6 of us can play at once. It's wacky, fun. It's a great way to kill 15 or 20 minutes. While you're waiting for the next guy to get there to start your D&D session or whatever. It's just a lot of fun. So check out Night. So 2 wacky games there, Night Squad and Rocket League, both great couch co-op games. Really liking those.
Okay. Craig, have any thoughts, or he went to sleep?
What? No, I have thoughts.
He fell asleep on his munchkin.
Topic.
Oh, okay.
I'm not asleep.
All right. Good.
All right. Well, you're a trooper. Here's how we're going to do.
Super trooper, lights are gonna find you. What?
Yeah, they're going to close the
Here's
store.
Here's how we're going to do Tom Clancy's The Division. I'm going to give the 60-second overview, and then you guys can ask me questions of what you want to know about it.
Oh, I like that. Okay.
So, Craig, have you heard this. I'm not sure if this is an urban legend. I don't think it is. So Tom Clancy's The Division.
Yes.
I heard that after 9/11, our government reached out to science fiction writers and novelists and said, draw up scenarios of what the next terrorist attack could look like so that we could be prepared. And then that's what The Division is. I've heard it's an actual scenario that was drawn up. I don't know if Tom Clancy himself drew it up before he passed away or if he just found it and his game company produced the game. So, have you guys heard that? Russ, did you hear that?
I have not.
I have not either.
So it's pretty neat. I tried to Google it to see if that had any merit in it, but my Google skills stink. Maybe before Craig zones out, he can find that out if that's true or not. But
I'm on it.
So the scenario allegedly drawn up was that terrorists create the smallpox vaccine, the smallpox that can live on dollar bills, and then they disseminate tons of infected cash out into the market on Black Thursday for Thanksgiving. That's what they call it, right? Yeah. And of course, it, decimates the population, and the population dies in New York City. So you play in New York City, and you are this division agent. And what the division is a branch of Homeland Security, and its whole mission is to perpetuate society long enough for government and public services to be reinstated. So you start the game as the second wave of division. You're in this helicopter, boop, you fly in, and you don't know what happened to the first division agents. And what's really cool is they show the activation of division agents. They're not just paramilitary. They're not like you're in the military, go be a division agent. They show like a firefighter being activated, a police officer, a nurse, a guy in a bar, which, kind of he leaves his friend, pats him on the back. So, he's like just a person, in other words. And when you're going through and you learn the first agents, you see that people have different kind of training skills. So that's kind of neat that it's not just paramilitary. And apparently the game is set where like the police and the firefighters that exist in the game, they kind of look to you to like run the show. It's like suddenly you outrank them basically, and so that's pretty much the premise. Other than that, it's a shooter based on like what's the other one, the Xbox one, Russ, the MMO shooter. Which
one? There's a million.
Infinity that starts with an I. Everybody, Destiny,
which starts with a D. Yes,
D. Sorry, yeah, that was a Y-I sound. Anyway,
yes.
I didn't play Destiny, so I was a little hesitant to play an MMO shooter. I wasn't going to know what that was like, but I'll stop there, and you guys can ask me questions.
So, what does it feel like other prior Tom Clancy shooters? Because I'm not a big fan of Rainbow Six and that stuff. I know a lot of people are though, but it's just not my cup of tea.
Yes, it's very similar to Rainbow Six. As Russ puts it, he goes, are your feet stapled to the floor? And the answer is yes. I happen to like that because it slows the game down for me to take it away from being a Twitch shooter. Right. So, yes, you're slow, but I like it.
All right. Not my cup of tea, but I can see why people like it. More tactical. I get it.
It's not a one-shot, one-kill. Sometimes some of Tom Clancy's game are, if you get a headshot, you're dead. It's not that. You can take a lot of punishment.
Is the story very compelling? Like, do you want to know what happens next?
Yeah. So you're walking around New York City, and they did a great job of rendering a destroyed New York City. I mean, you feel immersed. It's an over-the-shoulder look, and yeah, you want to know. And they leave there's like 3 to 5 different ways to learn the story. There's cell phones that you find on the ground, and you click them, and it'll be, like a woman calling into a hospital, and she's like, I don't feel so good. And I'm like, ma'am, make sure you go to your nearest doctor. Click. And it clicks off. So it's like different phases of before the smallpox even hit, when it hit, the months after it hit. You feel like you're there like 6 months after, maybe 8 months. I'm not sure the timeline, but you're there after everything's gone to crap, basically.
Right. All right. Cool. Rafe,
I got nothing.
You got nothing?
I got nothing. No. He apparently predicted 9/11 in his books. But anything about after 9/11. And I met him on a couple of occasions. He never mentioned the division. He didn't ask me to join it. So
you're not going to be activated as an agent.
Right.
No.
Apparently not. So, Rafe, what are you excited about for upcoming games? Anything new hotness you're looking forward to?
No. computer wise?
Yeah, video games. Yeah.
Well, I guess yes. I jumped into the Kickstarter for Star Citizen.
Oh yeah, you feeling like that's making progress?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a massive game. I mean, I think, God, it's like $1 billion or something he's raised. It's insane.
Right.
I mean, he puts out modules. The problem is there's no tutorial yet. So I need a tutorial. I've tried. I've gone in. I've tried to go inside my ship. I've done that, but I don't know how to fly it. I don't know how to shoot with it. So I'm waiting till it's a game.
All right. Well, I have a couple games I'm excited about that people should know about. One is Battlefleet Gothic Armada. Wow,
Looks cool.
Does this look good? Yeah, so I pre-purchased it so you can get access to the beta, and man, the graphics are fantastic. I love the voice acting. The art is awesome.
I don't know what it is. I mean, I know Battlefleet, but is this what is it?
It's a real-time strategy game based on the Battlefleet
strategy.
Gothic miniature game. Yes. So
In space?
yes. So yes. So you have there are the 4 main fleets you can play are the Imperium, the Chaos Fleet, the Eldar Fleet, and the Orcs Fleet. But if you pre-purchase it, you also will get access to the Space Marine Fleet and one heretofore unannounced fleet. My money's on the Necrons, but they haven't said. So it looks really, really good. It still feels very beta-y. It's real time, but the way they execute the torpedoes and everything else is sort of kind of remember the order dice in the game? Well, so you click where you want your ships to go. The ships kind of go where you tell them, and they kind of automatically fire their guns at the targets. You can click a particular target and say, fire here. They'll fire double broadsides, everything else. But you can give them all the order dice facings are buttons for each ship. So you can kind of give the direct order to like brace for impact and all that stuff. And because you're commanding a fleet of like 7, 8, 9 ships, this level of simple control works really, really well for the larger engagements. A lot of fun. I hope the real version, I mean, I'm giving it a little bit of leeway because it's still in beta, but it's supposed to be fully done by the end of April, and I really hope they're able to finish it up the way they looks like. The ambition looks really, really good. You can level up from mission to mission and increase your skills, upgrade your ships, upgrade your characters. So there's this whole feeling of like, yeah, it's really looking really good. And I'm pretty sure Ross Watson was involved in some of the writing and stuff as well. I'm pretty sure he mentioned that last time he was on the show.
Really? Cool.
So good stuff
for
there.
him.
Yeah, good stuff there. And then the second games I'm excited about.
Wait.
Sorry, yeah.
It's pretty interesting, I'm finding, how Warhammer seems to be really getting traction in a new space. Like it's living on. You know, there's like tons of Xbox games.
Yeah.
Well, not tons, but there's a handful of Xbox games.
Say Fantasy Flight and video games are really spreading the GW love around the world. I mean, I know the GW miniature games are still selling reasonably well, but I think they're almost more known now for their video games.
That's what I mean.
They've got Total War Warhammers coming out pretty soon too, which is a Warhammer Fantasy combat game. The demo's not available yet, but it looks pretty cool. And so there's that, and then there's this. There's Regicide, which is the chess game, which has 40K models in it. Ross Watson's involved in that as well. So you're basically playing chess, but when the pieces take each other, like the pawns are all Space Marine scouts, and when they take each other, they actually have a graphic of them killing them. It's kind of like the old battle chess game, so that's pretty neat. So there's a lot going on with GW in the video game world, and most of it's really, really exciting and cool.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like Lego, how there's been, I mean, that's a radical shift sort of, but how like, yeah, there used to be this miniature game only, and now it's branching into a lot of other areas of gaming, which is really cool.
We're missing the Lego 40K game. I think that needs to happen.
Ooh, now we're talking.
Like Lego Batman or Lego Star Wars. You need Lego.
Yeah, hey, that's a good idea, Russ.
Lego 40K sets, Lego fantasy sets. I feel like that should be a thing.
That should be. That's a good idea.
Last, Rafe, have you heard about Overwatch and Battleborn, these two different games?
Don't even know what you're talking about.
All right, so these are the two hotnesses. Overwatch is by a little company you might have heard of called Blizzard Entertainment.
That Overwatch, yes.
And Battleborn is by a company called 2K, who are the guys who did Badlands. So both these games, big, powerful companies, big AAA title companies, both known for the ability to make great games. What's interesting about these games is they appear to be the same concept. So both of these are first-person / third-person shooters. Both of them are basically squad combat. So you go into an arena and you fight each other. So they're really multiplayer games. And both of them are filled with really crazy, over-the-top characters you get to choose from. So you pick all these wacky guys. So like in Overwatch, there's a gorilla that has armor on and a gun, and he's a scientist, but then his power is he kind of goes crazy and rages and does extra damage, and it's really hard to hurt. Then you got the teleporting twin gun chick who can teleport around the battlefield. You got the bad guy who can turn into smoke and fire grappling hooks. You got all these different things. Crazy guy.
Yeah.
Battleborn's almost the same idea. It's just different kinds of crazy people, and it's more steampunk fantasy with elements of, it's almost like, looks a little more like War Machine, right? So it's got
And who's making Battleborn?
Battleborn's 2K, so it's the guys that did
2K.
Yeah.
So, and Overwatch is Blizzard. Got it.
Yeah, right. So they're both big companies, and it's weird because they're both coming out next month. So they're like really on top of each other, and they're competing for the same audience, which is multiplayer shooter fans. So we'll see what happens with this. Both of them are fascinating to me, and the videos, you should, even if you're not a gamer, Craig, you'd like this. You should go to YouTube and Google Overwatch and watch the game trailer, the announcement video, and the Winston video. They are Pixar Disney quality videos.
Really?
Yeah, they're amazing because Blizzard has all the money in the world, right? They're like, they're wow. So the videos are great. Right. The storytelling's fantastic in them. Now, it doesn't tell you anything about gameplay, but it's a cool little short to watch about the video, about their universe. So both of them are really interesting, though. So I'm going to be interested to see which one happens. I don't know which one I'm going to buy because buying two of the exact same game seems kind of silly. My girls are interested in one more than the other because of the characters. I think they're leaning towards Battleborn because of the certain characters that are in there. So we'll see what happens. But
what's it called? Overwatch?
Overwatch by Blizzard.
Blizzard Entertainment. Yep.
Yeah, Greg Ivany, he likes it when I always say his last name. Is really, really cannot wait. I've been playing a lot of Diablo 3. I was playing that a lot until waiting for the Division and MMO to Black Desert there. So yeah, I was chatting with him, and he was like, "Oh, Overwatch. I've seen it, and yeah, it's not for me."
Yeah,
I don't think.
You got to like shooters. So, and you got to like multiplayer shooters. There's not much story with either of these games. I mean, there is a story mode, but I think both of them appear to have it sort of tacked on, like it's really all about the arena combat. I think, but I could be wrong. But so I'm interested to see how they do because these are both AAA companies who have both made really, really amazing games in the past. So it'll be interesting to see how their different spin and who can polish it more because essentially they're both the same concept. And it's sort of neat that they're coming out at the same time. I mean, the art style is different, but they're basically the same idea. Throw a bunch of wacky, like Battleborn's got like a mushroom guy in it and a clockwork butler in it and all this crazy stuff. But
a clockwork butler.
Seriously, I'm not even making
now you've got me.
No, I'm seriously.
There you go.
Like Battleborn has the weirder things. Like Battleborn has this giant mech that you can play, but it's piloted by a penguin who's very, very cute, who swears like a sailor. Like it's this weird stuff. It's just like this all weird, like people are sitting around going, I know, we need a giant robot powered by a penguin. It's like this weird crap. But it seems interesting. Overwatch is a little more realistic, a little more like, it's still wacky, but less wacky. It's almost like comic book superhero wacky, whereas Battleborn's just totally like off-the-wall, weird stuff sort of stuck together in a room to see what would stick kind of thing.
I mean, Blizzard makes great games. There's just no two ways about that.
That's the thing. They're both these companies have made fantastic games, so we'll see what happens there. So
cool.
I think the Dunkin Donuts guy's giving us the evil eye over here, guys.
Yep. Craig's nodding off in his Munchkin cup.
So Ray, thank you.
These little guys are cute.
Thank you so much, Ray, for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us here in Dunkin Donuts, and we'll have you on the main show here in about a week.
Yeah, sounds great.
Thanks for purchasing a D6G Lost Chapter. Supporting the show helps it grow.